Would you be shocked to learn that thousands of birds can arrive at the same place, at almost the same time, without receiving a single invitation? No messages, no maps, no leader standing in front of them. And yet, as the sun begins to disappear below the horizon, something remarkable starts to happen. From different directions, birds begin appearing in the sky. A few at first, then dozens, then hundreds, sometimes even thousands. If you looked up at that moment, you might think it was just another flock flying home. But what if it wasn't? What if these birds were gathering for a reason that most people never notice? Every evening, all around the world, birds perform one of nature's most fascinating rituals. As daylight fades and shadows grow longer, they begin moving toward specific locations as if responding to a signal hidden from human eyes. The strange part is that this happens so often that most people completely ignore it. Cars continue driving, people continue walking, windows close, lights turn on. And meanwhile, above it all, a silent gathering is taking place. For centuries, people have watched these evening bird gatherings and wondered the same thing. Why do they do it? What could be so important that birds from different areas leave what they are doing and head toward the same destination just before nightfall? At first glance, it almost looks like a meeting, a secret meeting. The closer researchers looked at this behavior, the more questions appeared. How do the birds know where to go? How do they arrive at nearly the same time? And why does the gathering seem to grow larger as darkness approaches? If you're curious to discover the answer, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments. Have you ever seen a large group of birds gathering before sunset? And what do you think they were doing? Now here's where the mystery becomes even more interesting. Some evenings, the sky becomes filled with movement. Birds circle above trees, rooftops, or open fields before finally settling down together. To someone watching from below, it can feel as though an invisible plan is unfolding. And believe it or not, what scientists discovered about these gatherings makes the mystery even more fascinating. So what is really drawing all of these birds to the same place? For a long time, people assumed these evening gatherings were completely random. Birds were simply looking for somewhere to sleep before night arrived. But when researchers started paying closer attention, they noticed something surprising. The birds were not arriving randomly at all. In many cases, they seemed to know exactly where they were going. Even more strangely, birds coming from different directions often reached the same location within a very short period of time. It was almost as if they were following a schedule that nobody could see. This raised an important question. How do they coordinate something like this? After years of observation, scientists discovered that birds are constantly paying attention to one another. Throughout the day, they watch, listen, and react to signals coming from other birds around them. A single call, a change in movement, or even the direction another bird is flying can carry valuable information. To us, these signals may seem invisible. To birds, they can mean everything. Some species use special calls to attract others toward safe gathering places. Others simply follow the movements of nearby birds until a small group slowly grows into a much larger one. And this is where the mystery becomes even more fascinating. Many of these gathering spots are used again and again, night after night, year after year. Some birds return to the same location so often that researchers have been able to predict where large flocks will appear before sunset. But why choose to gather at all? Why not spend the night alone? The answer may be connected to survival. As darkness falls, danger increases. Predators begin hunting. Visibility drops. The world becomes harder to navigate. For a small bird, spending the night alone can be risky. But surrounded by hundreds or even thousands of others, those risks become smaller. More eyes can spot danger. More birds create safety through numbers. Yet protection may not be the only reason. Some scientists believe these gatherings also help birds share information. A bird that found a good feeding area during the day may unknowingly influence where others search tomorrow. If that's true, then these evening gatherings are doing far more than helping birds sleep. They may be helping entire communities survive. And what researchers discovered next made these secret meetings even more extraordinary. But what happens after the birds finally arrive? This is where the mystery becomes even harder to explain. If these gatherings were only about finding a safe place to sleep, you might expect the birds to arrive, settle down, and remain quiet. But that is not always what happens. In many evening gatherings, birds continue moving, calling, and interacting long after they arrive. Some switch places repeatedly. Others seem to join smaller groups before moving again. To an outside observer, it can almost look like organized activity taking place before darkness fully arrives. And that has puzzled scientists for decades. Why do birds spend so much energy gathering if the day is already over? One possible answer lies in something surprisingly important: information. Imagine spending an entire day searching for food across a large area. Some birds find plenty. Others find very little. By gathering together in the evening, birds may be gaining valuable clues about where resources can be found the next day. Researchers studying certain species noticed something fascinating. Birds that spent nights in large groups often appeared better at locating food than birds that remained isolated. This led some scientists to wonder whether these gatherings act as information centers, where birds indirectly learn from one another simply by observing behavior. But that's only one theory. Another mystery involves the incredible size of some of these gatherings. In certain places around the world, thousands of birds fill the evening sky. Waves of movement ripple across the horizon. Flocks twist, turn, and shift direction almost instantly, creating patterns so beautiful that they seem carefully choreographed. Yet there is no conductor, no leader giving orders, no bird standing at the front controlling the group. So how does it work? The answer is surprisingly simple and mysterious at the same time. Each bird pays attention to the movements of nearby birds. Tiny adjustments spread through the flock in fractions of a second, allowing thousands of individuals to move almost as one. And still, many questions remain unanswered. Because even today, scientists continue discovering new details about these gatherings. The more they learn, the more they realize that what appears to be a simple flock of birds may actually be one of nature's most remarkable social events. And as night finally begins to take over the sky, one final question remains. What happens when the meeting is over? As darkness finally settles across the sky, something unexpected happens. The movement slows. The calls become quieter. One by one, the birds begin settling into trees, bushes, or other resting places. The gathering that seemed so active only moments ago suddenly becomes almost silent. And just like that, the meeting is over. Or at least that's how it appears. Because the truth is that these evening gatherings are not really about a single moment. They are part of a much larger story that repeats itself day after day, season after season, and year after year. Long before humans built cities, roads, or skyscrapers, birds were already gathering at dusk. Generation after generation has followed the same remarkable pattern. Somehow, they continue finding one another, sharing space, and preparing for the dangers of the night. The more scientists study this behavior, the more they realize how extraordinary it truly is. What first looks like a random flock turns out to be something far more organized. Thousands of birds making countless decisions, yet somehow creating order from what seems like chaos. And perhaps that is what makes these gatherings so fascinating. Not just the science behind them, but the fact that they happen right in front of us. Every evening, while most people are focused on their phones, driving home, or closing their curtains, one of nature's most remarkable events is quietly unfolding overhead. A secret meeting hidden in plain sight. And maybe that's the biggest surprise of all. These birds are not hiding. The mystery was never hidden from us. We simply weren't paying attention. The next time you find yourself outside as the sun begins to set, take a moment to look up. Watch the sky. Watch the movement. Watch the birds gathering from different directions. You may never look at a flock the same way again, because what seems like a simple group of birds could actually be part of an ancient ritual that has been taking place for thousands of years. And now I'd love to hear from you. What do you think is the most fascinating part of these secret gatherings at dusk? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more amazing mysteries from the world of birds. Until next time, keep looking closer. Sometimes the most extraordinary secrets are hiding in the sky above us.